Hi there, and welcome to the Creatives Get Real podcast. I'm Roben-Marie Smith.
And I'm Sandi Keene, and these are real conversations about the creative life. Hey, Robin.
Hola. How are you?
I'm doing great. Still in the mountains.
Yes, we
Still
are.
loving it.
They think we've been in the mountains for a month, Sandi.
I wish. I wish that were true.
Yeah. So what do we got today?
This one is going to be so much fun because we've gotten some questions, and we're going to answer some listener questions. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I think that's good. Let's do that. That's a fun thing to talk about.
All right. Would you like to take the first one?
I will. Okay. So the first question is, how do you choose your topics? So how do we choose our topics? We brainstorm. We actually have everything organized in a collaborative, do you know that word, collaborative, online platform that we use. And it allows us to just drop in ideas. We have this running list. Actually, we have a really long running list. And we just kind of go back and forth and say, well, what about this topic? And how about this topic? And then we kind of put them in there, and then we look at them, and then Sandi goes in and she kind of formulates a few little key notes of this is a good, just key points that we might want to, and then I'll add some stuff if there's anything I think of. So we kind of go back and forth with it.
Right.
And then we take a look at some of the episodes we've done, and we're trying not to do, things that are too similar back to back, or we want to have a variety. But really when we set out, it was more, we were doing exactly what we set out to. So things might evolve as we go, but we really want to touch on topics that we think creatives and makers and artists, this creative community that we have encompasses so many different arts and crafts and hobbies and all of that we wanted to find topics that were relevant and informational and encouraging for all of them. So that's kind of how we do it.
Yeah, and sometimes they're topics that you and I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And something we feel is important for ourselves. And we're like, well, if we're talking about it and thinking about it, hopefully other people are too.
Exactly.
So, it kind of happens naturally. It's nice. Well, that leads right into one of our next questions is, are the episodes scripted?
No.
I think by now, this was an early question.
It was.
I think by now you're quite positive that there's no way this is scripted.
No, it's not. No. In fact, sometimes it's a little, I get a little nervous, going into it, because I'm wondering, okay, what if I forget what I want to say? Well, we've done that. We just leave it in there. Remember raspberries? But no, it's not scripted. I think that would make it harder. And I think it's more natural that we just kind of, again, these are the types of conversations that we have.
Right. And
they're very natural, and we just kind of, play and bounce off of each other. And, sometimes they go in a little bit of a different direction. Something comes out, and then we play on that as we go.
So we have a general idea of what we're going to talk about, but I would say at least 75 to maybe 90% of the time, like you said, something comes up and we head off into a new direction. And to me, that's when it's the most interesting.
Yeah. Like it's a general topic, and then we just go for it. And
it's kind of riff.
Yeah, we do. And it works. I think we do that well together. Playing off of each other. And
that's what works best for us. And there's no way I could read a script.
No.
So no, not scripted.
Not at all.
Okay, want to take the next one?
Okay. Are you in the same room? I would say 90% of the time, maybe 85%, we are in the same room.
Right.
We find we've done both, because there's been times when we could not be together. Sandi and I live about 25 minutes apart without traffic. And so we're in the same town. We're very close together. But we have had to do them through video chat, where we're just plugged in and we video chat. But we feel like, and I know you would agree, Sandi.
I do.
The energy is so much better when we're sitting across from each other in the very same room.
Yes. Yeah, we can really see each other's eyes better. We can laugh better. And you're right. We can just feel that energy between each other that is missing when we're doing it over a computer. So we really, really try to be in the same room, like when we're in the mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to take this one.
Yeah, take that one.
What about men? Yeah. Good.
Yes, please.
Yes. We generally speak to to women because that is our audience. But we both do have male people in our customer base, and we do not want to exclude them. They are very welcome. They stand out in the group.
Yes, they do.
Because there aren't a lot of them, but they are most certainly welcome. So if you are a man who is a creative, a maker, or an artist, you are welcome here.
And we have them in our circle of art friends. I mean, we both do. And it's just by more of a habit that we use the female gender because that's generally our audience.
Right.
But I really believe, and this was, brought up, with this question, we speak broadly. These are topics that are right for anybody.
Right.
We're not just speaking to women at all. So
yeah, there are times because we are two women that we have a female viewpoint.
Yeah,
and that comes across, and a man might be going, "Oh, please."
Yeah, or our humor is related to things that we experience because we are women, and so that just comes naturally for us. Yeah,
right. But yes, men are welcome here. Open arms.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's next?
The next question is this podcast just for artists?
Oh, okay, just for artists. That's a great question. And we recently had a conversation with a fellow art friend, and we talked about this very thing. And when we first started it, I think in our minds, we said creatives because we didn't want to just say artists or makers, because there's so many different creative endeavors. And we've talked a little bit about that. We've got photographers, you got jewelry artists, soap makers, knitters, felter. There's a lot of, it's a creative community, all of those. Right. So we're not just for artists, but, could we be speaking to someone who runs a yoga studio, or maybe, our viewpoint is from what we know.
Right.
And we know the mixed media industry and creative industry. But I really believe that some of the things we've talked about and will continue to talk about are for anyone who, is wanting to run a business or
absolutely. Yeah. I'm thinking back to one of my favorite episodes, which is the one about how to say no gracefully and
the 24-hour rule.
And the 24-hour rule. Yes. I mean, that applies to everyone, including teens, they're starting to make decisions and those kind of things. I think, it's everybody. And yes, we want to make sure to open the doors wide. So if you are doing any kind of creative endeavor or business, you are most certainly who we are speaking to.
Yeah, good question. All right, the next one is what listeners are doing while they are listening.
And this is...
What are they doing?
We love hearing what you guys are doing.
Remember the one, there was a group of ladies, they were going to Vegas? They were going to Vegas. They were going on a trip to Vegas. And they sent us, or they posted it on Instagram, maybe in the stories, where they were road tripping and they had the podcast going. And we love that. It was so cool to see it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, let's just ping pong back and forth some of the things that we've heard people are doing while
I've gotten some comments that there are those who are listening on their commute to work, and they look forward to Thursday morning or Friday, depending on where they are, where they're listening to it while they're driving, while they're going to work.
Absolutely. Taking walks.
Yeah.
We've heard that one.
Yep, studio time, working in the studio,
yes, which is how we picture it.
Because they feel like we're just kind of right there with them, and they're just hanging with us.
Right. Yeah. Doing household chores. That's a good one too.
Yeah, because that can be really boring when you're just doing household chores, folding laundry. Yeah.
I hate. Here's my big hate. Unloading the dishwasher. I hate that job.
Yeah.
So I almost always throw on a podcast when I'm doing that.
That's a good. I don't like doing that either. I hate it when the drops of water get on my feet when they come out of the dishwasher. That's like, I hate that feeling.
Quirky.
I know, it's weird, but it is who I am, so.
Okay.
But we would love to hear from you in what are you doing when you're listening to Keep It Clean, when you're listening to our podcast.
And if you have any other questions, we love answering them. Please go to our Instagram accounts, and if you pop in where you see us on Thursdays generally, we're letting you know that a new podcast is out, a new episode. pop in there and ask us questions, and we'll answer them on the podcast.
Yes, we will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this
was a short one, but it was a fun one. I like to be able to answer the questions that others are interested in. So, yeah.
So keep the conversation going.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Creatives Get Real.
We love hearing from you. So hop on over to Instagram and leave us a comment. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sandi Keene, at sandykeene.com, and my classes at popupartclasses.com.
And you can find me, Roben-Marie Smith, at robenmarie.com. And if you're looking for and need tech support, check out my membership site, makerstechu.com.